Welcome to Express News. We give you top 100 news of the day. Let's get started. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is en route to New Delhi from Tianjin, China after successfully completing his visits to Japan and China. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the plenary session of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tianjin on Monday. During his remarks referring to the recent Pahalgam terror attack, PM Modi said that no double standards are acceptable on terrorism. PM Modi further added that India is working on initiatives like the Chabar port and the International North-South Transport Corridor to help improve connectivity with Afghanistan and Central Asia. The Prime Minister also proposed the creation of an SCO Civilizational Dialogue Forum, adding that India is moving ahead following the mantra of reform, perform and transform, and that all must join India's development journey. SCO member states in strong words condemned the terrorist attack in Pahalgam on 22nd of April 2025. Members expressed their deepest sympathy and condolences to the families of the dead and the wounded. They further stated that perpetrators, organizers and sponsors of such attacks must be brought to justice. The declaration echoed the theme of One Earth, One Family and One Future. Member states also welcomed the results of 5th SCO Startup Forum held in New Delhi from 3rd to 5th of April this year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin travelled in the same car to the destination of their bilateral meeting in China's Tianjin, showing the strong bond both leaders share. During his bilateral with President Putin on the sidelines of SCO summit, PM Modi welcomed recent peace efforts in Ukraine and urged all parties to move constructively toward a swift resolution and lasting peace. Prime Minister Modi told President Putin that he hopes that both the nations will move forward to end Russia-Ukraine conflict. The leaders discussed bilateral cooperation, including in the economic, financial and energy sectors, and expressed satisfaction with the sustained growth in bilateral ties in these areas. The two leaders reaffirmed their support for further strengthening of the special and privileged strategic partnership between the two countries. Prime Minister conveyed to President Putin that he looked forward to receiving him in India for the 23rd annual summit later this year. President Putin, in his remark at the bilateral meeting with PM Modi, said the time-tested relation between the two nations is the foundation for the development, adding that these relations are absolutely non-partisan in nature. Home Minister Amit Shah is in Northern Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The minister inspected the Tawi Bridge at Bikram Chowk, Shiva Temple and houses that were damaged by the floods in Jammu. Home Minister also met the flood-affected people of Manguchak village. Earlier, he held a review meeting on Monday regarding the flood situation in Jammu and Kashmir at Raj Bhavan in Jammu. Union Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia launched the India Mobile Congress IMC 25 application in New Delhi on Monday. The 9th edition of the India Mobile Congress 2025 is scheduled to be held from 8th to 11th of next month at Yashobhumi Convention Centre in New Delhi. The theme for IMC 25 is Innovate to Transform. Bringing relief to central government employees, the deadline for choosing unified pension scheme has been extended till September 30th from June 30th. The Bureau of Indian Standards has issued guidelines for 6 grades of silver jewellery to be hallmarked with unique 6-digit hallmark unique identification number. The State Bank of India has changed its credit card rules effective from Monday. Reward points will not be available on gaming platforms, merchants and government transactions on select cards. The rates of commercial 19 kilograms liquefied petroleum gas cylinders have been reduced by Rs 51.5 effective from Monday, with no change in the prices of 14.2 kilograms domestic cylinders. The GST collection in August 2025 stood at 1.86 lakh crore rupees, registering an increase of 6.5% year-on-year. The GST mop-up in August 2024 was at 1.75 lakh crore rupees. Indian equity indices ended on a strong note on Monday. At close, the Sensex was up 555 points to close at 80,364. The Nifty at National Stock Exchange added 198 points to stand at 24,625. Indian rupee fell 11 paise to close at all-time low of 88.2 US dollar on Monday. Gold futures maturing on October 3rd were priced at 1,04,733 rupees per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for September 5 maturity stood at 1,22,576 rupees per kilograms on the MCX. Oil prices edged up on Monday. Brent crude was up 0.46% at $67.79 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude slipped by 0.5% to $64.33 a barrel. European shares edged higher on Monday, supported by healthcare stocks after data showed Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk's weight loss drug Wegovy offered better heart protective benefits than rival treatments from the US-based Eli Lilly. The pan-European stock 600 was up 0.26% at 551.56, following its first weekly loss in 4 last Friday. In Bangladesh, the Forum for Women's Political Rights has called for comprehensive electoral reforms to ensure fair and All right, we are heading for a short break. We'll be right back.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Hello. Johar. Arey, it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
स्वागत आहे to magnetic Maharashtra. Come share in the richness of Maharashtra as one family, united by the collective vision of building a better tomorrow.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Let's resume. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer appointed Manoush Shafiq, a former Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, as his Chief Economic Advisor, the government said on Monday. In Bangladesh, the Forum for Women's Political Rights has called for comprehensive electoral reforms to ensure fair and inclusive representation of women in the political arena. The forum also demanded direct elections among women candidates to 100 reserved seats in parliament and the mandatory nomination of at least 33% women candidates by every political party. Speaking at the anti-repression teachers rally at Bangladesh's Dhaka University, Samina Lutfa, professor, stated that certain politically motivated groups have intentionally created instability in the nation to serve their own limited interests. The biggest party in Thailand's parliament is meeting on Monday to decide whom it will back to form the next government. The two rival camps jostled for votes following the sacking of Tongtang Chinawat as Prime Minister last week. A man was arrested on Monday after ramming his car into gates of Russian consulate in Sydney, Australian police said. Ukraine suspects Russian involvement in the murder of former parliamentary speaker Andriy Parubiy. The head of Ukrainian police stated that the crime was intentional and that everyone responsible will be brought to justice. US President Donald Trump dismissed the speculations of his deteriorating health on Monday. In a post on Truth Social, Trump posted he has never felt better in his life. The US boosted its maritime force in the waters of Venezuela as US defense officials confirmed that 7 warships, a nuclear-powered submarine and over 4,500 marines and sailors are either in the region or on their way. Thousands of Indonesians rallied across the country as the military was deployed in the capital after 6 people were killed in nationwide protests over lavish perks for lawmakers. Yemen's Houthi rebels raided United Nations offices in the Yemeni capital Sana'a on Sunday and detained at least 11 UN personnel. Yemen's Houthi rebels said on Monday that they had fired a missile at a tanker in the Red Sea. This comes days after their prime minister was killed in an Israeli attack. In Israel, families of hostages held by Hamas staged protests in Tel Aviv, intensifying calls for their immediate release. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un visited a new missile production line on Sunday, inspecting its manufacturing automation process, state media reported. Supporters rallied outside Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro's home to show support ahead of the Supreme Court's trial deliberations scheduled to run from Tuesday. A Pakistan government helicopter crashed in the north of the country on Monday due to a technical malfunction. All 5 persons on board killed. Guyanese voters head to polls on Monday to decide if President Irfan Ali's People's Progressive Party retains its slim 33-seat majority in the 65-member National Assembly. The results of the polls are expected by September 3rd. Ahead of the November 30 polls in Honduras, presidential candidate Rixi Moncada kicked off her electoral campaign in San Pedro Sula, promising to continue the government's project to refound the country. A 6.0 magnitude earthquake hit eastern Afghanistan on Sunday night, killing over 800 people with more than 2,500 injured. Rescue operations are underway in several districts of Afghanistan to find missing people under the destruction and rubble caused by strong tremors. The strong tremors from Afghanistan's quake were felt as far as Kabul and Pakistan's Islamabad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed condolences for the people who lost their lives in Afghanistan quake. PM Modi stated that India stands ready to provide all possible humanitarian aid and relief to those affected. South Korea's Gangneung city has declared a state of national disaster on Monday amid a severe drought, with authorities preparing for possible water rationing. A forest fire broke out in Buldan district of Turkey due to strong winds. 10 helicopters and over 300 firefighters have been deployed to battle the flames. Northern Thailand was hit by heavy rain from a weak low-pressure system, remnants of tropical depression Nongpa, leading to flash floods and major damage. In Pakistan, devastating monsoon floods have affected over 1.5 million people across thousands of villages, with more than 850 deaths reported. A cloudburst in Jammu and Kashmir's Doda district triggered flash floods that damaged hundreds of houses and cut off key roads. The Indian Air Force continues relief operations in Punjab's flood-hit Pathankot and Gurdaspur districts, aiding stranded residents. The Yamuna River in Delhi has again crossed the danger mark after heavy rainfall in upstream regions and water release from Haryana's Hathini Kund barrage. Heavy rains in Rajasthan's Ajmer on Monday caused severe waterlogging, disrupting movement in several areas. Himachal Pradesh has issued a red weather alert for several districts with extreme rainfall expected in isolated areas over the next 48 hours. The Indian Meteorological Department has forecast heavy to very heavy rainfall over East Rajasthan, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir and Uttar Pradesh for the next 2 days. Uzbek workers fill gap in Bulgarian tourism sector. As the population shrinks, they have become indispensable, accounting for almost 7% of the economy. Vietnam gears up for Independence Day parade with photo booths draped in the national colors and souvenir shops selling in red flags. Oman's Dhaka Valley becomes home to world's largest reserve of frankincense trees, as over 5,000 trees grow in the barren landscape, producing a fragrant sap harvested for thousands of years. A cleanup drive is underway in Somalia's Mogadishu to restore the capital's reputation as a peaceful and picturesque city. Migratory birds arrived at the Aitan Reservoir in North China, taking a stopover on their journey to warmer southern regions. Havana hosted Elegance Competition of Cuba, the first vintage car competition held in Cuban capital city, paying tribute to classic vehicle owners of the island. Crowds flocked to Bayeux Museum in France to see Northern Town's namesake tapestry, as the building that houses it is set to close for renovation work. 10 more no-smoking zones have been added to public transport facilities in Hong Kong, with offenders liable to penalty of $1,500. In Japan's Niigata Prefecture, a giant 80-meter-long bamboo and straw snake was paraded by 500 villagers along a 5-kilometer route. A 45-foot eco-friendly Ganesh idol crafted with natural materials has been installed in Telangana's Warangal for Ganesh Chaturthi festivities. Dr. Rajendra Yonzon, hailing from Kalimpong in the Indian state of West Bengal, has been credited with discovering a new orchid species, Zeugene yonzoniana, featuring yellowish-white flowers. Coleman Domingo hosted the Ampar Venezia Gala, a fundraising event for AIDS research at the Venice Film Festival on Sunday. The Wizard of the Kremlin movie star cast, which includes Jude Law, Paul Dano and Tom Sturridge, attended the red carpet premiere at Venice Film Festival. Irish actor Liam Cunningham joined several pro-Palestinian activists in Barcelona ahead of the departure of Global Summon Flotilla. Actor-singer Amanda Seyfried talked about a recent project, The Testament of Anne Lee, which premiered at the 82nd Venice International Film Festival. Mads Mikkelsen and his Danish co-star walked the red carpet for the Venice Film Festival premiere of the dark comedy The Last Viking. Writer Louis Verissimo, in fact, one of the most popular and respected authors in Brazilian literature, died Saturday morning due to pneumonia complications. Julia Roberts walked the red carpet in Venice for the first time on Friday as she brought a thriller film to the festival. Hollywood star Richard Gere Connecticut home has been officially demolished and is now set to transform into a 9-property development. Director Jim Jarmusch and the stars of his new film appear at the Venice Film Festival red carpet for movies premiere on Sunday. Actor Kevin Spacey arrived at the Venice Film Festival red carpet on Sunday, a day after he premiered the trailer of Oligard's saga, The Portal of Force. Indian men's hockey team a third straight win as they face Kazakhstan in group stage at Rajgir. India already through to Super 4s after 2 victories. Indian football team take on world number 20 Iran in Kafa Nations Cup at Hysor in Tajikistan. India ranked 133rd face one of their toughest challenges. Athletics Federation of India named squad for World Championships in Tokyo. Neeraj Chopra spearheads medal hopes as reigning javelin champion. Women's ODI World Cup prize pool soars to £13.88 million, surpassing men's 2023 total, massive 297% rise from the last edition in New Zealand. World number 1 Arena Sabalenka storms past Kristina Boska 6-1, 6-4 at US Open, books quarter-final clash with Vondrousova. Jessica Pegula crushes An Lee 6-1, 6-2 to reach US Open quarterfinals. Number 4 seed hasn't dropped a set this year at Flushing Meadows. Marketa Vondrousova knocks out 9 seed Elena Rybakina 6-4, 5-7, 6-2 in a battle of Wimbledon champions. Check into US Open quarters. Barbora Krejcikova saves 8 match points to defeat Taylor Townsend 1-6, 7-6, 6-3, completes remarkable US Open comeback. Novak Djokovic advances to US Open quarterfinals, beating Jan-Lennard Struff 6-3, 6-3, 6-2. Serb chases record 25th Grand Slam title. Taylor Fritz outclasses Thomas Machac 6-4, 6-3, 6-3. American reaches US Open quarterfinal for third year running. Carlos Alcaraz beats Arthur Rinderknecht 7-6, 6-3, 6-4. World number 2 shows composure under pressure to reach last stage. Jiri Lecheka downs Adrian Manarino 7-6, 6-4, 2-6, 6-2, secures first US Open quarterfinal berth, matching 2023 AO run. Liverpool agree £125 million deal with Newcastle for striker Alexander Isak, forward to undergo medical before signing 6-year contract. Dominic Szoboszlai nets stunning free kick to give Liverpool 1-0 win over Arsenal at Anfield. Reds edge past title rivals. Brian Gruda scores 89th minute winner as Brighton stun Manchester City 2-1. Milner also strikes as second oldest Premier League scorer. That's it in this edition of Express News. News and updates will continue on DD India. You stay tuned.